I'm Lucy and this is my channel, Geek Petite. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you very much. And if you're new and you enjoy what you're watching today, you can just click on the little red button on the bottom right of your screen. So today, I want to talk to you about my January makes. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, my January plans didn't quite go according to plan, shall we say. So I haven't got all 4 things that I plan to make ready to show you. So today I'm going to show you the sweaters, and then when I've shown you those, I'll explain a little bit about the other 2 garments and kind of where I'm at with those. Okay, so this is my Linden sweatshirt by Grainline Studio, and I made this in a cotton jersey. I used this lovely hearts pattern, one for the main bodice and sleeves, and then I used cuffing for the wrists and for the neckband, and then this is another cotton jersey on the bottom band. Now I got all 3 of these fabrics, just come closer so you can see that. I got all 3 of the fabrics from by Grazilia, and they're just a beautiful quality and so lovely to sew with. Yeah, so I made a size 12. I'd sort of talk about how I decided on the sizing and everything in my actual plans video. I'll actually pop up a card so you can go back and have a look at that if you want to, and it's a bit more, gives you a bit more information there. So yes, I went with a size 12, and it is quite a relaxed fit. Now initially when I first sort of tried it on, I did feel like it was a bit big, particularly sort of around this area. So I did actually take it in a little bit. I just basted it. I took about 1 inch actually off the sleeve, and then I kind of blended it in at the side. But when I then tried it on again, it just didn't look right. It changed the shape too much. And I thought, you know what, actually, it's obviously supposed to be like this, and it's really comfortable. So I just unpicked that, and I've left it as is, and I think it's really nice and comfy. Now, the only thing is, I'm not quite sure, what do you think about these sort of, the way it's folding in on the sleeves there? I'm not sure if it's a bit to do with how much my shoulder slopes, and that it's a raglan, maybe that combination. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know what you think. Does it look odd? I can't work out whether it looks odd or not. It's certainly very comfy. So, and that's the main thing. It's probably going to be loungewear for around the house. But yeah, overall, just so pleased with it. And the only adjustment I made was, I think I've mentioned this as well in my plans video, that sleeves tend to be very long on me on patterns. So I usually need to shorten them by, you know, at least a couple of inches. Now with this one, what I did was I just cut the sleeve the normal size, and then I tried it on and sort of had to make the necessary adjustment, but I actually needed to take off 4 inches from the main sleeve before I attached the cuff. So that's actually quite a lot. So these sleeves must be quite long. But that was the only adjustment I needed to make, and I did it all on the overlocker. It's the first time I've overlocked a neckband actually. So I didn't do what I would normally do, which is then do some stitching just underneath, because you've got such a tiny bit, and I think it would be too bulky and it just doesn't feel like it needs it. So I left that. But yes, everything else, yeah, everything was done on the overlocker, which made it a lot quicker actually as well. And I just bought some nice navy thread for my machine, which was nice to use. So yeah, that's it. I think it's a really nice staple, and I'm sure I'm going to make a few more. Okay, and here is my toaster sweater. So I made this in a size medium, because I knew what size to make because I've made it before. And yes, it was fairly easy construction. All of the sort of sort of bottom area went well. I've got the nice, hope you can see that, the nice split and then the zigzag stitching that goes around it. What I found is that I had a few issues up here. Now I'm not quite sure what kind of went a bit wrong, and I know it's okay because it's just a cozy sweatshirt, so it doesn't bother me as much, but just in terms of kind of learning, I overlocked the sleeve in, which I think what happened was it struggled up here to sit flat because you've got this quite chunky facing that you turn under. So I think that's what it caused, a bit of there was a bit of bumpiness, that's a word, and I actually ended up unpicking the overlocking just over the top of the shoulder on both sides and then just sewing it on the sewing machine, and that helped a little bit, but I've just still got a kind of weird couple of sort of bumps there, but they don't feel uncomfortable wearing it or anything. And then I seem to have a little bit of folding, a bit like on my Linden on the sleeves. Some magic folds happening here as well, which aren't apparent on my other toasters. But anyway, I really don't think it matters. It's come out absolutely lovely and I really like it in this fabric, super cozy. Now, in terms of any adjustments, with this, I found my old pattern pieces and I'd actually written on them. Always a good idea to do that because it's a long time since I made the previous one, so I would have completely forgotten those adjustments if I hadn't written them on. So what it told me was that I had actually reduced the sleeve by 3.5 inches, but I actually think that's a little bit too much because I think I mentioned on my other video that I'm going to make some cuffs for the other one I've got because the sleeve's actually too short, especially when I bend my arm. Now these ones I think are just okay, but I have only turned it under the sleeve hem. I've only made 2 centimetres, whereas it actually instructs you to make it, I think it's 1 1/8 of an inch. So I have made that a lot smaller. And I think just if I make another one, I'll just take less than the 3.5 off, maybe take off maybe 3 or something like that. So yes, I'll make that adjustment next time because I'll definitely make another one. And the other adjustment that I make is I actually lengthen it. So I've found on my pattern piece that I had lengthened the bodice by 3 inches. Now there's a lengthen and shorten line, and it's really important that you use that because if you just extended it here, you'd end up with much longer sort of slip pieces. So you just need to use the lengthen or shorten line on the pattern piece itself. And now the reason that I do that is just because although I'm only 5'1", I do like my tops to sort of skim my bum, go over it. So I do actually like tops to be a bit longer, and that's why I lengthen them, because this is sort of fairly, not quite cropped, but it's fairly short if you make it the normal size and you're not short like me. So yes, that's it really. It's like my other ones, it's super cozy, really comfortable. Like I say, I had those couple of issues on the top. What I would do next time is I just wouldn't overlock the sleeves. I would just put them in on the sewing machine, because of that sort of bulk at the top there. I think that would just work a bit better. So yeah, that's my toaster. Okay, I've just changed into a ready-to-wear t-shirt, so that I just want to explain, as I said at the beginning, about the other 2 garments I was going to make. So I also planned to make the Este blouse and the Soroco jumpsuit. Now the Este blouse is actually almost finished. I've got one more sleeve to put in, and then the buttonholes that come across. Now I had some issues with the construction where I just had some difficulty understanding some of the instructions and things, so it took me a lot longer than I thought. And then unfortunately at the end, or nearing the end, I've realised that it's actually too small across the bust. It's because I went with my previous bust size, and I've actually put an inch on the bust area since then. So it's just a bit of a shame, but I'm sure I'll lose that again, and then I'll be able to finish it off properly. So what I've decided to do is, once I can get that finished, I'm going to do a sort of more detailed video. So I'm going to do a pattern review for that one. And I'm also going to do a pattern review for the Soroco. Now where I've got to with that is, I've actually got it all cut out. What I was doing was, I wanted to make an adjustment to the crotch area, because the one that I've made is really, really low on the crotch. And I know quite a few other people have said the same, but you know, it doesn't bother them. But I just thought I'd, you know, make the effort to change that. So that's delayed it a little bit, but I found a great tutorial on that, and I've amended my pattern pieces, so that's all ready to go. But I just thought, you know, with that being a bit more of an in-depth sew as well, and the changes I've made, it would be good to do that as a pattern review as well. So I'll probably do those as two separate videos for you. So they'll be coming up, you know, as soon as I can get them done. Probably the Soroco first, because I'll need to wait until the Este can fit me properly. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with those. So it's a shame I haven't been able to bring them all to you today, but these things happen in the sewing world, don't they? Right, well that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please come back and I'll see you again soon. Bye!